Hi guys. Typically fantasy is not a genre that speaks to me very well. I much prefer to read more realistic novels, ones that don't include dragons. Um, there were two major characteristics of fantasy that were accentuated in this book, and the one would be imagined worlds, and the other would be heroism. Serafina lived in an imaginary world, but in the novel this was her present location. But because she had these maternal memories from her mother, she had to take care of them so that they would not pull her into her vision at the wrong time. So she created this little mind garden for them to dwell in, and she named each one specific. So she had Fruit Bat and Miss Fusspaws and stuff, depending so this was all based on their behavior. She didn't know who they were, but then she ended up figuring out that they were actually real people that had the same half-breed body that she did. Hartman did an excellent job in taking the reader into Serafina's mind every time she went there. So when she went, you went too. I would say another thing that Hartman did really well was describing the setting. It is difficult at times to create a completely new world in a novel, but she was able to do it in a way that allowed the reader to envision it. So the other element of fantasy that was highlighted was heroism. Serafina was your typical behind-the-scenes person who ended up having the ability to reach other half-breeds in her mind without even saying anything. So for a long time, they lived in a fear of discovery, but this kind of made me laugh for a second when I was saying that they were unimportant behind-the-scenes person. It made me think of Spider-Man, who was this little nerd guy at school, but then he ended up being Spider-Man, and for a while, people feared him and wanted to, get rid of him and kill him, but then they realized that he could actually do good in the world, and it was just the same, kind of thing here. So, as Serafina did that, she grew in her confidence and didn't feel like she had to avoid the spotlight anymore. She was able to play her music as well as she could without others wondering, why was she able to do this so well? And as I said before, fantasy is not my favorite, but as I continued to read the story, the things that happened in the story drew me in, making me want to know more about what was going to happen. I will admit that it kept me on the edge of my seat and surprised me in many ways that I was not expecting.